It's live. It should be live. All the things live. I just used that in my last video. That cup. I'm drinking different coffee. Well, I'm drinking tea now. If you're watching a recording of this, hey, how's it going? How are you doing? Let me know in the comments. I'm waiting for right now. For some people, but yeah, basically the rundown of this, and I'll probably repeat myself several times, but the idea behind doing a live show is to kind of update you guys on what's been going on. I'm just gonna, I have like way too many tabs open at this point. I had like a bunch of, like way too many tabs open, and I was like, I should probably close some of these. So that's what I did. Let me tweet this little tweet out. Boom. Yeah. If you are watching this, if I actually have viewers and Google Plus is just lying to me, I have Q&A open, so if you want to leave questions, that is awesome. I'm not sure if I lost my train of thought anywhere in there, but yeah, that's what I have for you right now. Oh, it says 3 people are watching now. Hello, 3 people. How are you doing tonight? This is a random-ish live show / updates and stuff, and just kind of me telling you guys things, but also talking with you guys, so that it's not just me like talking at you. Just wanted to kind of update you on BookTube news-ish stuff, because I like to change the format every once in a while. Even if it doesn't seem like I've changed the format over the past couple of years, I've changed things. But yeah, if you've noticed, I haven't been doing BookTube news very regularly, to the point where I'm just like, I may need to change my YouTube banner because it says BookTube news every Friday. And the way that I'm going to change some things up, it might not even be on Friday. I'm not doing BookTube news, but I'm gonna be doing something different. Yes. But let's see, it says no comments yet, but hopefully something will pop up. Okay, one of my friends just randomly likes to ask me random, well, not randomly, but he only talks to me about Doctor Who and Doctor Who related things, and then he will ask me if I can look up a title for a book that he hasn't read since 7th grade, and that's a part of a different program and all this other stuff, and I'm just like, Justin, you're ridiculous. But I've known him like forever. He's cool. Somehow we both found social media as a thing that we enjoy, and so he's my buddy. But hello, 7 people. Woo! I hope that you were enjoying this and that you're not sad that you're not at Playlist Live or something. I kind of wish that I liked to go to those things. I forgot that Playlist Live was even happening this week. I didn't even know that was one of those things where I was like, it's too early to be Playlist Live. Why are people talking about going to Orlando for? Like, the New Jersey one just happened in like November, so I'm just like, what's going on? But I'm not sad that I missed it or anything. I'm just like, meh, because it's one of those things where like playlists, it just, the one year that I went, I felt like it was so expensive for what they were offering, which was basically kind of like a YouTube festival, and I was like, you could have done this in a cheaper place, like in Atlanta. I don't know. I don't know why they choose these different places where it's just like, really? You picked the most expensive places for people to go. And like, I'm not saying Atlanta for my own benefit. I'm saying you can always get a flight into Atlanta. I'm just saying. We're like the busiest airport ever. But not the busiest, but pretty high up there. But yeah, also, if you're watching this on Google Plus, you might want to switch over to YouTube. There should be a link somewhere on the event page, but yeah, that's a good idea. And I know I always act like I have had a ton of caffeine. I've had like 1 cup of coffee today, and I'm just like a little bit of just drained. But yeah, I guess. Hold on, let's make sure that I don't accidentally hear my own voice or whatever. I refreshed the video page just to see if there are any comments. Hello. Oh goodness. Keisha says, hello, Heart of Dixie is on, so I can only watch on comments for the next 30 minutes. Dedication from my friend Keisha. I love her. She's always at all the live shows, but let's see. But, okay, so if people come in and they're like, what are you guys talking about? I'm going to be like, you're going to have to just watch the rest of this video. But basically, my idea for changing things up, if you were not here like 5 minutes ago, basically I was talking about how every once in a while I like to change things up for BookTube news. Every once in a while I just like to just shake it up, and sometimes it might seem like there's a slight difference, or I change the day that do BookTube news or whatever. But I try to do it weekly, but over the past like month or so, I just haven't felt the drive, or like the really like I'm just not excited about it. And it's not one of those things where I was like, I'm going to quit doing BookTube news. I was just like, let's just not do it until I really want to do it. And so that's the reason why I haven't been doing like the BookTube news show, but I've tried to keep up with the Tumblr. And thank you to Rincey if you're watching this, or if you watch this later or whatever. Thank you for helping me with that. She does basically Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, or something like that, and I do like the rest of it, but I slack on it sometimes because I forget. I need to set like calendar reminders, but there's a lot of buts there. But basically, what I want to do is something slightly different. If you listen to podcasts, this will be not anything revolutionary, but something that I've been thinking about for the past little bit, well, the past like 2 days, because yesterday I was like, what if I did this new thing? And like, not everyone, but like there was a good few people who were like, oh my gosh, that'd be great. And I was like, this is cool. I've got some people who want to do this. But basically what I want to do is kind of akin to if you listen to Nerdist podcasts, or you listen to any podcast that involves people talking to each other about cool things. And basically wanted to do a video version of that on YouTube and basically talk to booktubers. Mostly I want to start off with like the people that I'm friends with, because it's my show and I can do what I want. But basically I was just like, I want to know why they do this. Well, not just that, but just like get to know them better. And so it's just kind of like a reason to talk to my friends. And actually keep in touch with people on BookTube, because I'm terrible at it. But I'm not sure how I'm going to do all that as far as like scheduling goes, but I'm going to basically be like, anytime you're free, let me know. And we're going to do, well, it's not going to be necessarily that. We'll like plan a day and we'll plan a time, and I'll make like a Google Plus event and stuff like that so that you guys can see it in your feed and all that kind of stuff. But and if you RSVP to that, I'll try to, I don't know how to send it out to people. So like if you follow me on Google Plus, you'll see it. I'm not sure how all that stuff works, but basically that's the basic idea, is me talking to people about them and getting to know them, because I feel like we get to know the books that they like, but I feel like BookTube has been this kind of niche where it's like, oh, we just talk about books and that's kind of it. And there are some channels out there that talk about more stuff. And if you actually, I'm not going to go on a tangent there, but there are other like BookTube Mexico, like that community. There are a lot of people who are really, really popular. Like they have hundreds of thousands of subscribers, and they talk about lifestyle stuff. So like the book is in there, or like the book stuff is in there, but it's like, but yeah, it's different. But yeah, so that's the basic idea behind it, is just being like, hey, let's get to know each other a bit more and talk about stuff. It doesn't necessarily need to be BookTube, because I thought about it, I was like, do I want to ask like the usual questions that you hear on panels and stuff like that? Because like there haven't been that many panels, so I know I could ask those questions to people, so I can come up with like a couple of questions or something like that. Like if there are questions you guys can are like, hey, you should ask booktubers this, or you know, I don't know what. I don't want to be like, hey guys, I want questions once a week, but it's one of those things where it's like, what kind of questions would you guys like for me to ask people? Because I want that to be a part of it, but also like, because I watch people like Stephen Amell. I don't know if you guys watch Arrow at all, but he's on Facebook all the time, and he does these things where he'll interview people like on his cast, and it'll be for like some campaign or something, and he's like, yeah. So, and like the ones that he did recently were like, so I want you to make up a word and tell me what that word means, because he came up with the word sinceriously, and it just kind of, it turned into a t-shirt campaign thing to raise money for a couple of charities. So that was a lot of stuff there. So I hope I didn't confuse anyone. If it did confuse you, there should be a thing on one of the sides of the screen that says, join the conversation, and that's basically the Q&A thing. Let me see. Yeah, if you click on that, I think it goes to a Q&A thing. I don't know, but I'm looking at the video page on here. If it does not show that, feel free to leave comments in the thing below. I like that Google Plus/YouTube lets you change your stuff or your name to the point where there's a person in the comments named I'm on an island. Hello, I'm on an island. How are you doing? I do want to add a charity aspect to like some part of my BookTube stuff, but it just, I don't make any money. Like, I'm sure people are like, you have 30,000 subscribers, you must be making money. And I'm like, heck no. My paycheck last month was disgustingly sad. I'm sure I make more money compared to some people in other countries, but I didn't make enough money to even buy groceries or anything. It was like, oh, yay! Some money, but I don't make enough money to live off of. Let's be real transparent there. But yeah, so I don't know if you guys have questions. Why is it saying an error occurred? I don't know if there's something wrong with what is happening. Who's calling me? Random people keep calling my phone, and it's disturbing. So I'm just like, I don't know who you are. It looks like I'm alive. Okay. But seriously, I've been like, within the past 2 months, like random people have been calling my phone, and I'm just, and they'll like, sometimes they'll leave a message, but if they don't leave a message, I'm not calling them back. But, oh, one person give me a thumbs down. Thanks for keeping me humble, person. It's real cool. Let's see. Oh my gosh. I just saw like a GIF on my Twitter timeline from Man Seeking Woman. And if you don't watch that show and you like really quirky, indie, like independent movie-ish kind of, if you like Jay Baruchel, basically, you'll like that show. It's just totally silly. And there's an episode, I think it was the most recent episode, he's going to text back the girl that he met on the train, and there is a war room scene. So they're like coming together to help him write this text, and it is the most hilarious thing. What was it? The one before? I don't know. There was some really funny. I love FX. They come up with like the weirdest shows, but I love it so much. I guess I'll do this for an hour, so like 9:30 Eastern time. You know how I like to go over that time, but I know, oh, it looks like the last live show I did, I was wearing the same sweatshirt And it went for 45 minutes, almost on the dot. Are you giving out your number randomly? If so, we need to have a stranger danger talk. Oh, so did you guys hear about that family? I saw this thing on it pop up on the Facebook, like that feed where it's like trending. It's basically the trending topics of Facebook, but it was like this family arranged a kidnapping of their son so that they could teach him a lesson, and I was like, you better put that, like, I don't want any kid to, I would never wish putting a kid into foster care or anything like that, but like, why? Like, I get the dad who was like, I'm gonna shave my kid's head to look like he has like the I don't know if you guys heard this story, but it was also in the news this week. There was this guy, he's I think he's the barber, and then people have been bringing their sons to him. But basically, to teach his son a lesson, he cut a bald spot in his hair. If you look it up, it's this barbershop out of Snellville, Georgia, and it is hilarious because these kids, they just look like grumpy old men, and it is the most hilarious thing. Basically, it was like, yeah, my kid's not doing his homework, and like guys get their hair cut like once a month or so. Some people less so, but it was just so funny because it's like, here are these kids and they're like, haha, and then they get their hair cut and it's like, oh, that happened. And so for whatever reason, apparently it works, and like that's better than like doing something that could actually harm your kid. I feel like in a way you could say that it harms your kid to be like, oh no, but it's like, okay, if you don't do your homework, you're gonna get the haircut. But like hair grows back. It's the same thing with like dyeing hair or something like that. I would never like dye my kid's hair like orange or anything like that. But and I'm sure it brings on some other stuff at school. But you know, it's fun. It's fun to see some of the parenting things that go on. I'm just rambling today. I don't know what else to talk about anymore. But one of my friends asked me if I wanted, if I had watched Broadchurch, and I want to be like, which one? There are so many shows. There are so many shows out there, guys. Like, come on, talk to me in the comments. You're actually on an island. That is pretty cool. I don't want to ask where you live because that would be creepy, but that is pretty cool if it's a very nice island. Yeah. Okay. Sometimes I move over to Twitter and I get like really distracted. Even saying that, I got distracted. But Ransom Riggs just goes, I'm freaking out, Samuel L. Jackson. What? Oh my gosh, Samuel L. Jackson is going to be in the Miss Peregrine movie. Oh my gosh, I am freaking out. Like, that is crazy. That is crazy talk. Because I know like it's a Tim Burton film, so like he's probably gonna have his usual people. Like, I'm waiting for somebody to be like, Johnny Depp is gonna be so and so, and Helena Bonham Carter is gonna be this person, and you know, his usual people. But so far, I don't know. I don't know. Apparently Friday night is like the worst time to do a live show. I probably should have like did this more in advance, but I was like, I want to do a live show tonight. Oh, hello. Like the viewers keep going up and down. So hello, new viewers. How are you doing? Leave some comments and I will answer the comments. Cool. I have 2 more posts. Oh goodness. Hello, Britt S. I am right now I'm reading Cinder by Marissa Meyer. Actually, I'm reading it very, very, very slowly, like to the point where I'm reading like 2 pages a day, which is terrible. I should after this, I'm going to read. I'm trying to balance doing the unique, my makeup job stuff and actual relaxing and, that kind of thing and reading. Because, this channel really can't keep going if I just don't read. I know last month I read 2 books. And I think I'm going to read more or listen to more audiobooks because I feel like, I don't know, I can read that way. What? Basically what I'm trying to say is it's just, I don't know, it's more fun. Well, not more fun, but it's fun to have somebody else read it to you sometimes. Like freaking Amy Poehler, that was an experience. That wasn't an audiobook. I should have called it the Yes Please experience because it wasn't just her being like, hey, here are the words that are written in my book. It's like, hey, I'm coming to you from my, recording studio at the base of Mount Rushmore that I built, blah, blah, blah. She came, I don't know if it's a real story or not, but she just is ridiculous. And it's on my local Overdrive. I don't know if it's on anybody else's. Basically, if you don't know what Overdrive is, it's my favorite thing ever. And it's tied to your library card, and you can be like, hey, I live this place, and this is my library card number, and you can check things out on your phone or on your laptop or your mobile device of some sort, tablet, those kinds of things. Any of your Apple devices, basically, that too. But yeah, it's really cool. I like being able to do that kind of stuff where it's like, oh, hey, here's a free thing that you can do. My dad's home. His truck is so, it's not loud, but it's got a noise, a thing. Gosh, I don't know if you guys watch Arrow, but they want you to believe that Laurel is wearing Sarah's jacket, and I look at it the last week or 2, and I was just like, this is not the same jacket. I know they're probably not the same size people, but it's not even the same style. It looks different. Come on. I'm so picky about my favorite shows. I'm like, come on, I watch this every week. I'm actually writing a blog post right now about it. Yep. It's cool. That's my life is talking about Arrow and The Flash and stuff. So I should probably do a live show after one of those and be like, guys, what'd you think? What'd you think? It was terrible. No, I'm kidding. That kid probably needs therapy now. I mean, that's crazy. Yeah, if you get kidnapped, even if it's a, oh, hey, blah, 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 different, I don't know what, but that's terrible. Terrible. Josephina Rose Rodriguez says, hey, I love your video so much. Thank you. I really started reading. That's awesome. What are some of your favorite books? I enjoy Roald Dahl's books, specifically a book that I read a lot in elementary school, and that is Matilda. And I lost my copy. I wish I still had it because it had the movie tie-in cover, which is classic. I follow, I forget her name right now, Mara, whatever her name is, on Twitter. And it's secretly I want to be her best friend and be like, do you want to be friends? And I think she might be friends with somebody that I know. I don't know. But I feel I don't know. But I'm just you're awesome. Also, she retweets the funniest stuff. So if you know who I'm talking about, you probably, if you go on imdb.com and you type in Matilda, and she's the first person on there. So cool. Some other favorite books, Shel Silverstein's books, of course. The Giver. Noggin by John Corey Whaley. Anything that Alexandra Bracken and Rick Riordan have written. What else? I like reorganize my bookshelf, so my books that have been read, there's just like one layer of books, and it's nice. And I'm just getting rid of books that I'm like, I'm never gonna read that again. Also, Georgia Nicholson series is amazing, so if you have not read that, and it's definitely like younger YA, and by younger I mean she is very immature but super hilarious. So yes. Josephina Rose says, do you read in another language? Nope. I read in English. Alois says, funny that you were reading Cinder. I just got Scarlet and Crust today in the mail. Love Cinder. Can't wait to dive into Scarlet. Hope you're liking it so far. I like it so far. A lot of people have said like it picks up at a certain point. I was just like, I like it. I like it so far. I'm not a big sci-fi person. Like I do like sci-fi, but I'm not one of those people who's just like, yeah, sci-fi all the time. But I enjoy it so far. I like the idea of like her being an android and stuff like that. And I hear the series gets better and better, so that's a good thing. The only one that they didn't have at the bookstore the other day was Scarlet, so I have all of the other books in the series, including Fairest. So I just have to somehow purchase Scarlet. Greg Lee says, Greg, hey Liz, hope all is well with you. Starting to listen to audiobooks this year, and I need to listen to Yes, Please. Love Amy. Yes. Because I've heard things about like some people who've read the book were just like, but the people who like listened to the audiobook were like, oh my gosh, this is so good. And I'm like, yes. I feel like I wouldn't have gotten as much out of it or as much enjoyment out of it if I had done that. I'd read it, a physical copy. Keisha says, when a comedian writes a book, I think it's better to listen to it, the audiobook, because then their sense of humor comes through, and when you're reading it, it sort of does, but not really. Yeah. I did physically read Tina Fey's book and Mindy Collins' books. And I thought they were funny. But I think, yeah, it definitely adds another element to it. I think Tina Fey, like, I had just read The Fault in Our Stars, and I was like, I need something to make me not cry all the time. So I bought Tina Fey's book. Like, boom. I was like, this is my excuse. I'm doing it so I don't get depressed. I'm easily swayed with my emotions. So, you know. Eloy, I hope I'm probably pronouncing your name right. Right? Yeah. Okay. Says, yeah, I thought the same thing. I was like, that's not her jacket. LOL, I'm glad I'm not the only one. I can't remember what I was talking about. Okay. Oh, about Arrow. Okay. Maybe there's a really huge, gigantic lag. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. But Whispers, I'm still on the first season. Arrow, I've only had had 3 episodes left for the longest time. I'm hoping to finish it soon and catch up the way I could start The Flash. Also, I heard they have a yeah, their crossover episodes are amazing. I forget what it was, but like I think my brother was watching the season when Barry shows up on Arrow, and I was just like, I have to rewatch this. It's so good. He's so good. I love him so much. Grant Gustin is my favorite. But I also like the fact that like they're kind of balanced. Like Flash is very like lighthearted and stuff like that. Like there is some like a little bit of darkness in there, but there's a good bit of it's definitely a lot lighter. The music's lighter. The tone of a lot of things are lighter. They just have a lot more fun. I don't know. I was talking to my friend Allie today, and we were like, what happened to all the fun stuff that happened on Arrow? Like, there's just nothing. Like, there's no balance. It's just dark. And so, and I'm also coming up with, like, the blog post that I'm writing is like, here are these plot holes. Let's fill them with silly things. But, yeah. Bookaholic says, have you heard the songs Oceans by Hillsong? So many times. I feel like I've probably heard it about, like, almost 100 times in the past year, like, since it's, like, started becoming really popular. That's not a complaint. I still love it. Like every time, like even if like I'm in different situations of my life, like Oceans has just always rang true. That and You Make Me Brave, like Bethel's past 2 albums that they've brought out, like the live stuff and the newer one, amazing. So if you haven't listened to Bethel music and you like Hillsong, do it. Do yourself a favor and buy We Will Not Be Shaken. That's their latest one. So good. So good. Best book adaptation, Matilda. I always say Matilda. I'm trying to think. Oh, The Book Thief is amazing. Like artistically, so great. I think I'll listen to the audiobook and look at the physical copy just because of all the photos, but I definitely want to hear the stories told by Amy. I did not know that there were pictures in the book, but I don't regret just listening to the audiobook. Audiobooks are expensive though. That's the thing. I think that's the thing. But like if you pay for like Audible, what? You probably have some credits to spend. Wait for it. I'm refreshing the page. So I do have a question in the Q&A thingy. Select. Okay. Have you started reading A Darkest Shade of Magic yet? I love superpower stories, especially those with a villain as a protagonist. Any recommendations would be appreciated. I have not really started reading it. I really wanted to, and then I told some of my friends that they could read it because I was like, I don't know if I can read it right now. Just the frame of mind I'm in right now. I'm just like, I'm going to read something that's a little bit different. And so I picked up Cinder. I just need to sit down and read it. That's what needs to happen. I need to put my phone on the other side of the room and read because I'm terrible at reading right now. I'm not even like marathoning any TV shows or anything, so I don't really have any excuses. I just keep coming up with excuses and spending a lot of time on the internet just piddling around. But I don't know if you've read her other book, like the one about superheroes and villains and things. Excuse me. I mentioned it in my video. I don't remember what it's called right now. I think it is Vicious. That's what it's called. But also, my book club is reading Elusive. I probably talked about that in a video. Did I do that? Yeah, in a book haul. In a book haul, yes, that's what we did. What's funny is that I filmed that book haul, and then like that day or the next day, I went and bought 3 more books. So that was fun. Trying to think if there's anything else. Villain as a protagonist. Well, I've been yawning so much. Trying to think if there's anything else that I can think of that has a villain as a protagonist. I mean, you could kind of, I don't know. There's some that you could kind of go, oh yeah, that guy's kind of like darker than your usual protagonist, like Holly Black's Curse Worker series. You could say that like they're a little bit darker, and like his family is definitely, and he is definitely not a good person necessarily, but like he tries to do good things and he tries to look out for his friends and for, you know, other people. But as far as him being like the actual villain, I don't think so. And done. Okay, so I'm done with that question. Let's see. I hate that like when I refresh this page, it's like top comments instead of new comments. I just want to see your comments. New is first. Okay. Let's go down. Okay. Bookaholic says, thoughts on Mockingjay Part 1? Sorry for all the questions. Oh, I am here for questions. I did my little spiel about doing BookTube interviews, which is basically, if you were not here before, I'm going to be interviewing my friends who are booktubers and talk about BookTube things and talk about just stuff. Ask you about your childhood. Whatever. Cool. Mockingjay Part 1, I felt like there was a lot of good stuff. I am very curious as to how they will now make us think that President Coin is evil and terrible and all that stuff. They did add more to her character, which was nice, and the acting for the whole cast was amazing. I know we don't always get to see Gale say words and stuff other than like looking like a scorned lover and stuff like that. So it was nice for him to take on a part of the story and for him to say, you know, this is what happened and this is how I was, you know, a little bit of a hero. It's nice. It's nice that they had that and not him being like, oh, gosh, you want to go after Peeta? Because in the book he kind of comes off as like, why are we doing this? We should be doing other things to further the things. But sooner or later he kind of snaps out of that and is like, hey, I get this. I get it. LOS, yeah, it was Arrow. Yeah, you're saying my name better than my friends. Random questions. If your life was a classic book, which one would it be? That's if you read classics. I don't really read classics. I'm terrible. Not really. But the only classic that I've really read in the past couple years has been Pride and Prejudice. I need to finish reading Journey to the Center of the Earth because that's fun. Because it's like told from the narrative of this kid, or not a kid, but he's like, I don't know how old he is, but he's basically, I don't know if you've seen the movie. The movie is something else, but did I watch that? Yeah, I watched it. It was on demand or something like that, but it has Josh Hutcherson. You know, we go from Mockingjay and talking about that to more Josh Hutcherson talk, but the book is not the same, but I think that it probably has a similar essence to it, but yeah, that's a fun one. I should finish reading it. Britt asked, how's your cat? Can you see her back here? Let me switch windows. Let's see. Is this a cutie? She's there. I don't know. You right there. Oop, too far. There's her face. I poked the face. Poke it. But yeah, that is Rory. She is sleeping. She is sleeping like a little kitty cat. But she's adorable. Okay. Time and Chance, hello, asks, how can booktubers get more subbies generally? How can they get a higher profile? I would say talk to people on Twitter. I am not saying go spam everyone and their brother and their cousins with your YouTube link. Please do not ever, 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 ever do that. Ever. If you have it linked in your profile and they go and they follow you, they can find your channel. Like, that should be the rule, is don't go through the BookTube hashtag, you know, oh, I have a new hashtag BookTube channel. Link, and send that to everybody. No, please don't do that ever, ever, ever. And I know I've seen Time and Chance's, I want to say screen name, username before, so I know that you're probably not one of those people who's like, let me spam everyone. But, like, talk to people who are using the BookTube hashtag and be like, hey, how are you doing? What have you been reading lately? Like, talk to people. And, like, that's how you network with other people and stuff. And also talk to people that, like, you follow in general. Like, just talk to everybody. It's the same idea as, like, commenting on other people's channels, because you're not just, you know, talking to them. You're also supporting their channel by, if you have your YouTube channel linked to your Google Plus profile, like, you've got, you're allowing them more exposure, but, like, you know, the same for I guess getting other people to comment on your channel. That's a good idea. Like have some sort of prompt to be like, hey, let me know what you're reading in the comments, and stuff like that. Like that's kind of why I ask those things. Like, oh, hey, you know, what's on your TBR this month, or what did you read this month, or what are you excited to be reading in January or February or whatever month we're in. But yeah, like just like talking, like actually like networking with other people. And like it's not any sort of like, oh, you have to do it this certain way. It's just kind of like, go talk to people. Like if you watch certain TV shows, go look for the hashtag and go like see what people are up to, because you'll make friends that way. Like I've made friends by following arrow hashtags, or you know, Pretty Little Liars and stuff like that, when I used to live tweet that, but it just got too ridiculous, and that's why I don't do videos for that anymore. I used to, and I was like, I'm done. I'm just done. But excuse me. That's like the most views I've ever gotten on a live show, was doing a reaction video to like that season finale or whatever. But yeah, like just get to know people, and that's basically what it is. And that's how I started gaining subscribers. And it wasn't like one of those things where like somebody shouted me out. Like, yes, I did, like very early on in my career, I did read Shauna Housen, who is Nanaloo. I read her book of poems, and so she did say, hey, you know, see this, you know, this is a review on YouTube and stuff like that. But like that is really the only shout out that I've ever gotten. And so there haven't been like some big, like I've never like tried out for any like other big things or anything like that. But yeah, just like, and also like make sure that you're talking to people who are, you know, making some similar content, but also talk to people who you admire as far as like who got you into making videos and stuff like that. Like just talk to people, just talk to them. Yeah, I don't want to like go through the rules of like, this is how you do Twitter and stuff like that, because I know you know how to use Twitter and Facebook and stuff like that. And you don't have to have like a Facebook page, just like use what you feel comfortable with. So if you feel comfortable with just having like your YouTube channel and a Twitter account, like that's totally cool and that's totally fine. There are tons of booktubers on there. If you want to use like Tumblr or, you know, anything like that. Yeah. It's pretty interesting how all that happens. Because yeah, it's like, I really don't know how I have so many subscribers. I'm just like, oh, this is awesome. I've got 30,000 people who say that they are interested in me, so they hit a red button. And yeah, at one time it was orange. Did you know that? It was orange. Or was it yellow? Because I think, yeah, somebody had a theme song about it. Not about the orange button, but they were like, oh, you know, if you hit the orange button, thank you, because it really, really, really means something. If you know who I'm talking about, points, major points to you. Are you doing a Goodreads book challenge this year? Technically, I'm doing 50, but haven't really been on that. I should probably do that, because that's basically a book a week. But I haven't been doing that. I should do that. That's why I need to read as soon as I get off of here. So I'm gonna go quickly through the rest of these so that I can be off of here at 9:30. Freaking Hate Gale 45 asks, what TV shows do you recommend for someone who's bored on and scrolling aimlessly on Tumblr on Friday night? So if you don't want to be spoiled by any more Tumblr, Teen Wolf, Arrow, Flash, Man Seeking Woman, which is not something that a whole bunch of people are probably catching on to. Agent Carter, so that gets renewed and all that stuff, because right now they've only aired like 5 episodes, and I need more people to watch it because this last episode really got me. Like really got me. I feel like other episodes I was like, oh, okay, but this one I was like, oh my gosh. Jen Buchanan asks, do you have any particular reading patterns? I try to pick like a different genre every time I pick a new book, so like it's not the same every single time. But yes, I think it's, yeah. I usually read YA though, so there's that. Allie Redford asks, "Are you excited for Insurgent?" I'm guessing the movie. I think it'll be a lot better than the book, just because you have to make a book. I mean, you have to make the movie entertaining and something that people will want to watch for 2 hours. So I think it'll be much more exciting. And I see that, well, the trailer seems like it's more of the dream landscapey thingy, or whatever. I don't know how that ties into anything, because I feel like what we've seen so far has been, well, we've seen other trailers, so we see parts of like them. I forget which camp they were in, but when the book starts and everything, but it seems like there'll be some good similarities, but at the same time, there'll be some good stuff that has been changed, because there is just a lot of sitting around and talking about stuff, and not even like feelings. It's just like, hey, what should we do about this Janine girl and her crazy stuff? Because she wants power, and power for women is bad. It's so bad. Women should not have power. I'm just kidding. That's not what it says. But, yeah, it makes me sad when women are villains, because I'm just like, yeah, she's gonna die. That's what happens. I was watching Seventh Son, and I was like, man, the witch is gonna die. She's gonna die. She's gonna do it. The producer announced that they are looking into making sequels and are prequels to the Hunger Games. Thoughts? Loud sigh. Can you hear that? I don't know how they'll do it. I get that a lot of people see what Marvel and DC are doing, and they're like, we should do that too, with doing like spin-offs like Agent Carter, which I think is amazing, because they take a character that we don't really know that much about, but like she's got an ample amount of screen time. So I could see like them doing prequels as far as being like, oh hey, here's these who am I thinking of? I'm trying to think, but basically the like previous generations of people, and being like, hey, we've heard a snippet of their story, so like Haymitch and his sort of kind of love story-ish thing, and like kind of exploring that and making a story out of that. That would be pretty cool. That would be pretty cool. Your Braxton says, you might have answered this before, but what are your favorite Hunger Games book? What was your favorite Hunger Games book? Catching Fire. Also, do you think that Katniss' character was destroyed in Mockingjay? I don't really know, because I've heard people say that like the acting was above the story, so like the acting was better than the story, and the story was just kind of which part 1 of 2 of any last movie is gonna be like that, I feel like, because I know that Deathly Hallows part 1 was like that, where it was like, oh great, this is the part where they go camping. Ugh. But yeah, I don't think it's not like that she was destroyed in a way that it was like, oh, she took, like, the writer took this character and was just like, and turns her into a human, bleh. But it's like she's been through so much, so she's got like PTSD and all this other stuff, and like there's no way of her getting any therapy of any sort. There's like a lady who comes and helps her do stuff, so like a nanny-ish person, but I don't think she's like nannying her totally, but she doesn't have any way of like really coping with anything. It's just kind of like, oh hey, my way of coping with stuff is going and hiding in the air shaft. So yeah, I just felt like they built her up to be strong and independent, and then ruining that during the last book. Well, even if somebody is like strong and independent, there's only so much you can handle before you break. Like, that's the thing that I've learned from all this, like, strong, independent woman talk, is just, like, sooner or later, something's going to happen, and you're just going to, like, start crash and burn. It's like 3 questions, but would you rewrite the epilogue of Mockingjay if you could? No. I liked that book. I really, really did. Britt SS, I might make this longer than 9:30 because you guys are asking awesome questions. How has booktubing changed your life? I feel like it's made me a more effective speaker, and it's given me some pretty awesome friends and other stuff. editing skills, social media skills, stuff like that. Not anything that anybody could hire me for, but yeah. Because you always need, like, I'll try to apply for jobs, and it's like, oh, you need 3 years of marketing experience. And I'm like, oh, great. So I should have had a marketing internship all throughout college, basically. That did not happen. Renee Alcantar says, Wattpad has a feature of being able to comment while reading. Do you feel like this is a feature that could help improve reading on tablets/phones to make a more immersive experience? I can imagine a large ebook provider like Amazon picking this up. It almost feels like reading with a buddy and reacting as the story progresses. I could see, like, I know Amazon will show you when there's, like, been a bunch of people who have highlighted a certain thing. So, like, it'll say 17 people have highlighted this passage. So that's pretty cool, but I don't know about having comments as you read, just because I would think that that would be a little bit distracting for some people. Everything Books asks, are you going to be EA? I don't know. It's like, I really don't have money for anything right now, but I think I might be going on a writing retreat in April, and that's probably going to be that money's. Actually, it'll probably be a lot less than BEA, but BEA is not expensive. Have I gotten in? Oh, well, I got in free last year, and then the year before I was supposed to go and nothing worked out, but I was going to get a free pass for that too. Because I was going to, well, last year I was not on a panel, but I was helping film a panel and stuff like that. Wait, Agent Carter is already airing. Ugh, college life is killing my TV addictions. Yep. Also, how's your dog? He's sick today. I don't know what happened. I think he's eating something in the yard that is gross. I think my cat killed something, and he's, yeah, I know, it's gross. I know it's gross, but he got sick in my car, and then he got sick at the shop, and I was just like, meh, don't feel sick. I hate it when animals feel sick because, like, it's not like Dr. Dolittle and they can, like, talk to you or anything. It's just kind of like, you're like, you poor little puppy. I can't help you. And I'm sad because, like, I don't know how to help you. But, you know, he drinks water and stuff like that, so he should be good. He's just kind of like, eh. So he goes out in the yard and he comes in and he just kind of curls up and he's like, oh, okay. Because animals kind of, like, sleep it off anyways. Like, my cat's, you know, one time my mom was, like, so worried because after I took her to the vet, she was like, oh, she's sleeping all the time. I was like, she's a lot smaller, and, like, she got shots and stuff like that for, like, cat diabetes and stuff like that because she goes outside. So the nurse lady was like, hey, you probably might want to get her shots for certain things because outdoor cats and blah, blah, blah. You don't know who, what, when, where. She's mixing with different animals since she goes outside. And I was like, all right, okay. I don't know how much it was, but I'm guessing not too expensive because I wouldn't have been like, $100 Nope. That would have been like, you're staying in the basement, cat. No, I'm kidding. That would be pretty terrible if all your cat could do would be to stay inside in the basement all the time. I did run through those questions pretty quickly. Let's see. Oh. I want no glory. However, is it a good idea for booktubers to highlight the best of their comments in a video every half a year or so? I'm not sure what exactly. I'm not sure if I've ever seen anybody do that. I've seen some people do like Q&A videos where they'll like screen cap and be like, you know, so-and-so asked blah, 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 blah. Kind of like what I'm doing here where I'm like, oh, hey, Time and Chance asked me this. I don't know how you could highlight the best of your comments. I could see if you were like doing a discussion video and then you wanted to do a follow-up video for that. Like, let's say you were like, hey, we're going to talk about audiobook versus physical book. Like, what do you think about reading either of these, and what are the pros and cons? And like, somebody was like, oh, hey, and says, oh, hey, I'm visually disabled, and I, I'm partially blind or whatever, or legally blind, and I just read better if I listen to it. Or maybe, oh, I read audiobooks when I drive or something like that, and you make a video and you're like, oh, hey, so-and-so says they listen to audiobooks while they drive. So-and-so says they listen to audiobooks because, this, that, and the other. That would be cool, but I don't know if you could be like, this is the best comment, because it almost seems like favoritism. I don't know. I don't know exactly. Yeah. Things. Oops, is this refreshing? Mike Foss has purple hair. Let me read through this. Oh, okay. I see long comments and I'm like, hold on, let me read this before I go into it. Or Chris Film Warrior says, hey Liz, what's new on BookTube Biz? I've commented a few times on your Facebook page and I love your videos. They're so addicting. Thank you. So additional type humor. I'm wondering, with you being a big fan of John Green, I wouldn't say a big fan of John Green, but okay. I've read his books. It's okay. When you grow up and you mature a little bit and you're like, I see where he's coming from, but I see that there are other authors who are a little bit better. But have you ever read any books by Paul Zindel? I've read a lot of his YA novels, and he's been one of my favorite authors since middle school. I see him as my generation's John Green. I have not heard of Paul Zindel at all. Basically, I started reading YA in about 2002, 2003. I would say 2003. Something like that. But yeah. Thank you, Britt S. You are awesome as well. Maybe I'll do this for 10 more minutes and that's it. That's it. And then I go crazy. Or lose my voice. That could happen. That could happen. Every time I refresh, it brings me back to the top comments, and it's like, Keisha, wall of Keisha stuff. What do in real life people think about your videos? I feel like they think they know me better, or like they know a secret part of my life because they've watched my videos, and I'm just like, that's a part of who I am. And maybe I'm not as talkative in real life as I am in my videos, but like that's still like it's a condensed version of who I am, basically. That's how I feel about, like, if somebody seems different from their online personality, it's because their online personality is just like a condensed version, and it's like, well, a concentrated version, and being like, okay, this is blah. Like, Jesse is not as talkative and hyper as he is in his YouTube videos. He's quiet. He's a quiet dude, but he's really cool. But yeah. There are people who are just as much in their videos as they are in real life. Cassidy J. Tuck is one of those people who's like exactly like she is in her videos. Like, that's who she is. Jillian says, I've seen a lot of your videos and I really love them. How do you feel about the Moral Instrument series? That series is a long series. I feel like they could have cut it off at 3 and been fine, because books 4 and 5. Is it 4 and 5? Yeah. How many books are in that series? I don't even know. But there's some hot messes in that series, and it's not a perfect series by any means. I definitely like her Infernal Devices series better, but I feel like, yeah, I feel like I like Simon, and that's it. Time and Chance asks, where do you see BookTube being in 2 years? How will it have changed? I feel like there will be niches within the niche. There'll be like sub-niches in a way, because BookTube is a niche of YouTube. It's a community within a community kind of thing. But then I think that, you know, you'll have like the YA people, and you'll have the people who read like, I don't want to call it general fiction or literary fiction, but you'll have people who read these different kinds of books. And of course, there'll be people who like read all sorts of stuff. But yeah, and maybe because I know I've seen a lot of like I don't want to call them fashion vloggers, but like the beauty vloggers and stuff like that. A lot of them have kind of made more book videos and stuff like that. So SC Button makes, she has a book clubby thing going on with Yes Please. Haha. We have great taste in books. But yeah, I think that you'll see more people talking about books and stuff. So yeah. Hopefully more people will understand the idea that I do not own or have a monopoly on BookTube shoutouts. So feel free. If you have any favorite booktubers, or you find people who you're like, hey, this person has less subscribers than I do, feel free to just tell your friends about them, and feel free to make a video being like, hey, because that's what happened like when like Raylene and Jesse and Ariel and they're kind of whatever you want to call it, their generation of booktubers, like they all made videos at one point in time. It was kind of like a reciprocal thing where it wasn't necessarily like, oh, we're gonna get together and we're gonna do this. It was like, hey, these are people that are my friends and I enjoy their videos, and it like made them closer friends, I think. But it's cool to see people do stuff like that. So don't be afraid to make those kinds of videos and stuff. Cool. There are 6 books in the TMI series, says Julian. Yeah, I wasn't sure if there were 6 or 7. There's so many series out there, guys. It's crazy. Thank you, Britt S. I hope he feels better too. Not the poor puppy. He's my mom's puppy, but whatever. We'll call him mine. I make him get into my videos. There have been times where like I make a video and he just like sits there at the bottom of my tripod and just looks up at me like, what are we doing now? What are we doing now? And I'm like, what are we doing now, Fuggles? What are we doing now? But he's so funny. He has like his own sense of humor. He is a funny puppy. He still acts like a puppy. He's like almost 3 years old. He'll be 3 in June. So one of these days, he will be a real live dog. How are you? Says Morgan Bavard. Good. I'm tired, but good. Bookaholic says favorite non-book related YouTubers. Where do I start? I do enjoy Mike Valzone. He is hilarious. Kid President. Olin Rogers. Let's add some ladies to the mix. Abby Abbers 07. I think that's her thing. Lizzie Radio, who is a fantastic musician. It's Lizzie Radio. Let's see. Let's go to subscriptions. I'm trying to think of who else. Basically anybody in Wonderly. Freaking Leslie, also known as she does the one-time stories. So like if you've seen Ariel and CJ in the video where like they're telling the same story from different perspectives, like that's what that is. Yeah. Leslie does some amazing things. Why do I keep wanting to burp? Gosh. Oh, yeah. Keisha likes to send me stuff, and she sent me the thing about the dad who chose his Down syndrome son over his wife. Because I guess she was like, I can't raise this kid. And I'm like, I get that it's hard, but you just had a child. You had a real life child. And there's always a chance that their child is going to be born, and that child is not going to be just like every other kid. It's not going to be what you think, but, you know, every life is a life, and every life is important. That sounds so silly, but gosh, I don't understand why people are just like, oh, I don't want this kid. What? You had a child. It's your responsibility now. It's the same thing for, like, you know, any other parenting problem where it's like, oh yeah, well, this person's a drug addict and they lost their kids. What? You had children. What? This is your responsibility. Come on, shape up. Mike Foz asked, what did you study in uni? I studied communications and media studies, which basically means I studied the art of communicating, and I watched films and dissected them. All right. Are there any more questions? Oh my gosh. Let's refresh this one more time, just to make sure. Just so I don't miss anybody. I feel like I've been all questioned out. Let's just make sure. And pause. All right. Well, this was fun and fantastic, and thank you for coming and asking me all the questions. I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful night. And as always, have a great day and keep reading.